I bet, cause this is the first jump.
The
This
hey,
is the
hey,
hey.
pilot
We need to
episode.
have that. We need to have that hoe come on like with that nigga we made it beat.
Nigga, nigga, hey, you funny as hell. You funny as hell. All right. All right, everyone. I like you. Oh, shit. You see how I slid like that? You see how I slid like that? Fucked it up. All right, YouTube. I'd like to welcome you guys to Debauchery, the podcast. This is the first episode, episode 0. So it'll be our pilot episode. My name is Cameron Tuggle, and I'm joined today by my boy Cos Mosley. We're gonna do a little bit of conversation just to let you guys know what debauchery is an amalgamation of many things. We'll be talking about, lifestyle. We'll be doing some reactions, of course. We'll be looking at music, the industry, um, just presenting our life choices, our failures, our successes, just kind of showing, a little bit of truth in like the social media world. So, what we're trying to do is get real and raw and provide you guys with some food for thought and just varying aspects. Uh, so right off the bat, cause we had talked about this a little bit earlier. The subject of today, right, was having conviction in the play, right? And what is having conviction in the play? How does one maintain conviction in the play? And how do you take that mentality and apply it to varying things in your life? So, I'll just kind of uh, continue on about something that we were talking about earlier when I was saying that I had spoken with my dad yesterday, and uh, that story will tell itself as time goes on. But I was speaking to my dad yesterday, and we were just talking about having faith in what it is that you seeking to do in life, and having so strong of a faith in that you are willing to put even your life on the line for it. Just knowing that no matter what you'll do, you'll be all right.
Right.
And it's like, I mean, bro, we've had this conversation time and time again. It's wild to me to look at life and just see how many times that you could tell somebody, hell, this is the plan. And then after presenting that plan to them, bro, it's jokes, right? It's all hee hees and ha ha's, or like, they'll like real deal not believing you. And like for a lot of my niggas out there, it's like a hoop dream. Niggas like, bro, I want to go to the NBA. And it be niggas really out there, bro. They daddy hooping for sure can go to the league, but I feel like, bro, they don't get the food that they need from their peers or their parents to actually, fuel them to make it to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, a lot of people don't have access to shit like that, so it ain't even. It's not a problem. Everybody can't be a hooper though. Everybody can't do a lot of things. Everybody, everybody not gonna be
facts,
rich. So,
facts.
if,
I see what you're saying. Like, I mean, obviously, not everybody finna be a hooper, not everybody finna be rich, but you know, it don't necessarily matter as far as where you end up going, but it's just having having I guess what I hate to see is that lack of support when people are speaking about these dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate to see the ridicule, and like we talked about this earlier, bro. I done been through many a path in my life trying to go through the rap thing, all the way down to, bro, when I was in school picking majors, all the way down to starting this real estate thing. Every single turn I take, I tell somebody, yo, this is what I'm getting into. This is the plan, right? And I feel like I got just as much heckle as I got for the real estate thing as I did for doing rap, right? Or when I say, hey, I'm majoring in finance, it was the same level of like, you know, or the same lack of
yeah,
support,
the heckling gotta stop for sure. The
right?
heckling gotta stop. But at the same time, it come from a place of truth. It come from sometimes, it come from a place of knowledge. But not, you good. You know what I'm saying? You could have. I really feel in my heart that you could have did the rap thing. Like honestly, I ain't heard to it. Like you better than half these niggas out here. The shit that I did hear from you. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people they'll talk shit or they'll down somebody's dream
Right.
because they really just letting them know like nigga, you trash. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gotta tell niggas you can't rap, bro. You ain't gotta
Yeah.
tell niggas. It's something else you probably good at. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You ain't gotta talk shit. But
Right.
I feel where you coming from with that though, for sure.
Right. And then, there's so many people I feel as though who could have done things to change even the world, bro. I mean, like we don't even have to go to rap route. I'm sure there's been people out there who've had ideas for inventions and or bro computer programs, whatever it may be, that especially in our community, right, the black community, will get honestly berated into the point where they give up on it, bro, and they end up going down paths that didn't even belong to them. But it's just because there's so many people who are tainted by the world, bro, that it's just like you'll hear a person like speak on their dreams, and it's like so unfathomable for you to like see a person living out what they wanted to do, like see a person living a life that they fully dictated, that you just start to like really hammer in on them, right? And you just try to tell them like it's not possible. And and my question is it really that it ain't possible? Like, is it that that dude was trash, or is it that he needed more work and had you encouraged him, right? Could he have done something? And I feel like in our
Ooh,
community,
that's true.
we do that a lot, bro. And like, I'm sure, bro, you were just as much of an academic as I am. Even when you was in school, bro, it was crazy to get heckled, right, for being smart. That's one thing I've never understood was that it was lame to be the smart dude when I was in high school and middle school, right? Like that was not cool.
Nah, being smart ain't never been cool. Not in the black community,
Not in our
not
community,
not
bro.
in not in public schools. I mean, some people came from blessed situations. Some people
Right.
came from households that supported them. You know, not even just supported them, but pushed them and made it so that their grades was the top priority in their life. But you know, a lot of kids, a lot of parents put it this way: a lot of parents don't have the time to push these types of things. They too busy going to work. They too busy, trying to put food on the table, trying to make sure they kids got the things they need,
Yeah.
than to think further than tomorrow, think further than today. Like, it's tough. Real, I can't blame kids for not coming from home and already knowing that this school the most important thing that in my life. I don't need to be worried about nothing but school, because they really do. They need to worry about if kids don't talk about them, if they shoes not the freshest, if they clothes not the freshest, if they smell bad, if they ain't get to take a shower this morning. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Shit like that.
Yeah.
Kids is really, really like that.
Right.
And
Right.
it's only getting worse.
It is
It's
only
only
getting
getting
worse.
worse.
And so do you think that what was preventing, because like you said, I think the situation is getting worse, especially for the younger generation. Do you really think that the only solution is for us to solve that like need for survival, right? Because I feel like in a way, and this I know that previous sentence was kind of trash, but what I'm trying to say is I feel like in the black community, dude, we got a lot of people who are really living a life in a way where all they're trying to do is make it to the next day, bro. And that doesn't like once you get to that point in life where it's like all you can think about is how the fuck am I gonna survive to the next day. You can't help but use all of your energy for that one
Right,
moment, and you can't think about the future. Like you, bro, you could
right.
care less about your grades, bro. I don't care what the end of the semester look like, or I don't care what college look like, cause bro, I'm trying to make it through now, and like so how,
Right.
like which which is wild, but like how how do we solve that, bro? Like when you look at that critically, like what do you think needs to change? Because it's not something that has to happen on like a U.S. level. I feel like that's something that needs to happen on a cultural level. That's something that almost needs to happen with like black men and women.
Like, honestly,
Yeah.
we was talking about that Kevin Samuel shit yesterday.
Right.
That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen. Need to be a lot better men out here. Need to be a lot better men. Not saying that that's going to change anything, but you know, we we don't lead society, but we lead our family. So if our family is fucked up, then that's a reflection of us.
Yeah.
And not saying that
Yeah. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
saying that women have to follow our lead, but even though probably should, if it's gonna be successful, we should be doing the things that we need to do for for our family.
Yeah.
But
Those roles
you
are
know,
there for a purpose, for sure. I definitely agree with you there. And it's
so
controversial to say shit like that, but it shouldn't be at all.
yeah, so if we continue to strive to be better men, then at
Yeah.
the end of the day, everything will fall in the line. You can pass on the things that you learn. You can pass on the good things, and
Yeah.
keep the failures or prevent the failures from your family.
Right.
Because a lot of women, a lot of kids, they fall victim to the wrong, you know, they have influences from the wrong places, the wrong people,
Yeah.
social media, shit like
Yes.
that. So if we can influence them and keep them from being influenced by the wrong shit, influence them in the right way, then you know it's not gonna change. You know, it's not. I won't see the change, but the sooner that we have more men out here trying to be the best that they could be and trying to do the right thing and live the right way, I feel like you know it'll be more and that'll change. That'll change our families and our families changing our families will allow more time at the house, more quality time so that we're not just worried about how we're gonna make it till tomorrow. We could worry about, you know, we good till tomorrow, we good till next month, we good till next year. How are we going to secure the future?
Right. What's
You
the
know,
5 year plan?
right,
Yeah. No, I feel that. And to piggyback on that, I definitely would say like the quickest way to have a millionaire in the family is to bring them up in a $300,000 household, right? And the quickest way to have a billionaire in the family is to bring them up in a millionaire household, right? Like
right,
it cascades on itself, and what dictates your future is your zip code, right? Like your zip code tells more about your future than I think your ethnicity, right? A lot of people don't really
very true.
realize that, but like there's power in economics and power in growing yourself financially and like you said, bro, being a stand up guy and going out there and getting it. But then there's like this duality to that because we were talking about this earlier. It's difficult to determine what's the best way to get it, right? Because I would love to just tell dudes, bro, just it's simple. Go get a degree in X, Y, or Z. Go get a STEM degree and then go into this field. But at the same time, how can I tell somebody to go do that and then if that's not what they're interested in, but it's what their mind is telling them, bro, I got to do this to survive, right? That's me in finance, right? I got a degree in finance. I could care less about it at this point in time simply because it wasn't necessarily a passion, it was an interest at the time. I can't see myself going to work for an IB and doing that for 60 hours a week and not being miserable, right? Just like currently, I can't see myself not being miserable and going to a 9 to 5, right, in my respective industry. So it's hard for me to tell people like go do X, Y, Z because it is formulaic
And
to a degree, right?
it definitely formulaic. I feel like if you're not doing something you love, which a lot of people can't, it's gonna be hard, you know.
Yeah,
But 9 times out of 10, it's not. It's something that you love might not be something that's gonna make $1 million,
right,
and
right,
making that much money is not necessarily going to make you happy, going to make your family happy. It have to. It's the change start with us because we out here glamorizing, you know, these celebrities and glamorizing people having all these things. Well, 95% of America can't have those things.
that's a
You
that's a
know,
fact, bro.
it really starts with us. And if we, me personally, I had to remove myself from social media, because I was sitting there. I found myself one day. I was sitting on Xavier campus in New Orleans, and I was just scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. And I had work to do. I had, I wasn't even answering phone calls. I wasn't answering my mama calls. I was just, too busy scrolling. Didn't want to do shit. Didn't have to do shit. Smoking weed, high shit. And it just clicked. Like I don't give a fuck what none of y'all talking about. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all doing. I could care less about your life. You know what I'm saying? As bad as that sounds, I
Right,
don't care about nothing on here.
right,
And
right,
it took me time. I'm still trying to find, the things I do actually care about, the things I do, find, you know, that I find love in,
right.
that
Something
it's
fulfilling.
hard,
Yeah, very difficult.
facts.
Exceptionally difficult. I
It's
almost
tough.
feel like it takes a lifetime. But you said something that I thought was extremely wise in the quote Diogenes a cynic, if I'm not mistaken there. Yeah, it's either Diogenes or Epictetus, but either one, they said that, or Epicurus, they said that true wealth is not found in possessions, but true wealth is found in what you're willing to live without, or something along those lines. Real wealth isn't what you can afford to have. Real wealth is what you're content with having, and I definitely believe that through and
Facts.
through. But at the same time, we have to realize that in the society we live in, there are like bands, bro, that you have to be in, right? Like if you're below, what is it, like 18,000 or something like that? If you're below this number, bro, you're by federal jurisdiction or federal judgment, or whatever the fuck term it is, you're poor, right? You're living in poverty. And so living in
That's what
poverty,
y'all 18,000, man. You guys need to go to work, but
right, right. Nah, I mean, yo, right, and that's real, but at the same time, like, that's wild, bro. Because I feel like there used to be a time where, and I'm not gonna quote the numbers. I'm not gonna say there was a time where you could live off 18,000 and be okay. Obviously, there's a time where 18,000 meant you was rich. But what I am trying to say is there was a time where life was a lot more simple, and you didn't have to have certain roles being filled. There was no such thing as working at Amazon, bro. You might have been the coddler, or you might have been the assistant to the coddler. You might have been like a blacksmith, or you could have been a, I don't know, a saddle maker, whatever you were, right? You were doing something and you had a role that you filled, but it was just a little bit more fulfilling than going to a factory and pressing a button and making some metal get stamped in a particular shape, right? Or like going to Amazon and pushing packages. And so, I'm just trying to find out, how do you, bro, how do you figure out to play one? We talked about this. How do you figure out to play? And then once you figure out the play, how do you maintain conviction and then get to the point where you ignore the board? You're not caring about the numbers. You just focus on the field itself, right? So you focus on
that's
the
that
moment.
start that start at home. At home for real. At
Yeah,
home. If you don't have the proper support system, you can't focus on what you love, what you trying to do. Finding it is hard enough.
right.
You know,
So what is a proper support system in your eyes?
in my eyes, I feel like if you know that whatever you're trying to do, you can't go to work and do it. You can't spend 40 hours or 50, 60 for most people at a job all week and still do try to work at what you love because you're too tired when you get off or you need to dedicate yourself to that. And you need to be able to not work. If you know what I'm saying, no no, I don't know nobody that can say, "Oh well, I'm just gonna sit on my ass for the next 6 months, possibly 12 to 18. Just sit here, not sit on my ass, but I'm gonna work on something that I love, and I might not make it, but I'm gonna spend this next 18 months working towards that.
Yeah,
I don't know anybody honestly. I
yeah,
don't know anybody that can do that. That have the resources. Who family has the resources as well to support them.
yeah,
To let them do the things that they want to do with their life.
yeah. I
You
know a
can go
couple
to
of people
school
like that,
for
but they don't look like us, right? Whole
right,
different life
right.
from us. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like I mean, if I've seen them,
right.
but they don't come from the same place I come from. So I wouldn't say that I have a good you know understanding of how that even works because I've never seen anybody close enough to me doing something like that.
Yeah, and what's funny that it's funny that you said that. Some of the people that I've seen that have the opportunity to do that, I never take it, or when they do, they blow it off, and they actually are very irresponsible with it. It's not like
Exactly.
they take their time and do something constructive with it. They end up taking their time, and bro, it gets spent on whatever it be, hooping, video games, just going out partying all the time. But it's never just
Exactly.
I think there's something valuable, and this is like another little kicker I got from my dad. It's something valuable, bro, in just sitting there and literally having nothing to do. Sitting there and just being completely silent and just completely devoid of all stimulation, because it is gonna drive you towards that thing that you want to do. Like I don't. It's crazy to me that so many people are capable of sitting around and doing nothing, but in reality, it's not that they are doing nothing. There's distractions everywhere, like do Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Like that's
Yeah,
why
somebody
people are
getting
so
paid off
stagnant.
of that.
Oh, 110%, 110%. Or some algorithm is, racking in some bucks for a company, right? Because that's what
Right.
they, bro. Your attention is a valuable commodity, and a lot of people don't really realize it. I fail to realize it at times, dude. I can't tell you how many times I've just been sitting there bored on YouTube watching videos or on Instagram, bro. Especially when them shorts came out, bro. I'm just scrolling through these mugs, and it's so digestible. You can really burn an hour looking at shorts, and it's like, bro, how ironic is that? You know what I'm saying? You
Hour put come up so fast, you be like, fuck. I
right
could sit here a whole hour,
on
bro.
shorts,
Dead
bro.
ass.
These shits are like 30 seconds of tops. 30 seconds.
Right. How
bro.
you think TikTok big as it is, bro? TikTok
Right,
don't take no time.
right. And that's what's crazy is it's like, bro, our attention span is shrinking. So like, this to circle that mug back. It's hard to have conviction in the play. It's hard to maintain that conviction in the play. It's easy to have it, but to maintain it, dude, that's an endurance game. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't even think about it like that. But there's just there's obviously multiple types of sports, but I would probably say one of the hardest ones is endurance sports. Ones where it's literally like a marathon or or like I guess honestly any type of long distance race. Whereas there's me against him. Shit, even NASCAR driver where they in them cars for like hours at a time, bro. How long can I maintain this focus? And keep my focus as sharp as I possibly can while these other people are falling off and tapering off. It's hard, bro. And that's why I wanted this topic to be the first one, because I think that a lot of people don't really understand that, like, you it takes a genuine effort to maintain that conviction, one. But it's also something that society, or just the world in the way it's built currently, is actively fighting to rob from you. Like, you're not meant to have that. At least I personally believe that, and this is like all conspiratorial at this point, but I feel like you're not meant to have that conviction, because it greases up the cogs, or I guess it gunks up the cogs, and it's like, you're supposed to be that
And
cog.
a big problem with that though,
Yeah.
you right. Having that laser focus, staying on top of your game, is tough. With all these distractions. But another problem with it is people will see a little progression and see a little success in whatever it is that they focused on, and slack off, or not work as hard as they did when they, before they got that little to that that little success. You know, like take like this, and that's a lot. That's a big problem with how people get jobs and decide, well, I don't need to further my education. I don't need to keep applying to, I'll get the job and not even work hard at the job. I'm just like happy I got the job. You
Right.
know,
Right. Right.
they get that little paycheck and they happy, they satisfied.
Yeah.
You can you're not saying you shouldn't be satisfied. Whatever you are happy with, then you happy with.
True.
But getting if you're gonna get a job, then make sure you gonna do everything you can at that job so that everybody there know you the best at it. You
Yeah.
should be trying to be the best at whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
because eventually, let's say you get a job working, you're a security guard or something at a, let's say you at the casino, right? That position, casino not gonna upgrade you from that security guard, so it's only so much you can do in that position. Well, let's say you get a job at a factory or something. They have leads at the factory. They have management at the factory. So if depending on what you're doing, you need to be doing that to the best of your ability. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And it's tough because people just don't they don't see success. They don't, so they get something, they just satisfied. You
Yeah.
know, you not I wouldn't say not be satisfied though, because at some point I would like to get to a point where I am satisfied with my place in life. I would like to get to that point, but it's that little success, or that little, oh, I did this, I did that. That's not satisfying at all.
I got two comments. My first one is, I feel like I'll probably never get to the point where I'm just satisfied where I am. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that's something that's like innate in me. I don't think that's in everybody. I think that I'm just one of those people that once I get to a goal, I set my eyes on something else, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go do that now. It's like I just can't be where I am and then be all right with that. But then second, and this one's a little bit duplicitous, and I'm reading off my notes at this point, because you said something very interesting where it was like, kind of furthering your education, getting your job, and et cetera, et cetera. And, I'm one of those people. I firmly believe that at this point in time, going to school is low key a ripoff at this point. Like, the return on investment is not as high as it used to be, especially considering the trade off in time, and the trade off in mental health, et cetera, et cetera. And the I think the term is coined MBAization of the world, where everybody has an MBA, or everybody going to get their masters in something. You know, it's basically like equivalent to the bachelor's degree, and you would be better off going off to get experience, letting those people with the bachelor's do their thing, than you would, you know, going to school and studying and getting whatever degree, whatever master's, whatever PhD you get. The PhD is pointless, honestly. If you get a PhD, you might as well be a professor, honestly. But you know, as far as like a master's degree, I just don't really even see the point of that anymore because it's being watered down. And this
Right.
is why it's slightly duplicitous because I also feel like you know you should fall in love with the grind and whatever you feel like you going towards in life. If that requires an MBA and that's the grind, then you should be doing it. And or if you work in a job, and this is to touch back on what you just said, if you work in a job such as security at a casino, you know, if that's your grind and you love it, then like you said, bro, I can't knock on you for loving it, but you know, I just feel like we got to get to the point where we start freeing ourselves from these menial jobs because in reality they are pointless, bro, and you fill in a role that's not necessarily even needed, to be honest. Like if they didn't have that
Right. They
security,
got a million cameras up there. They don't need
dude,
you.
dude.
They
And
don't need you.
I mean, in China they have a fucking AI system that can tell your face, and when you do something wrong, you get like what social credit points taken off. So you think they ain't gonna implement that in the U.S.? Like, do they really need physical security guards? That's something that's gonna get wiped out in the future. Do they really need Amazon drivers delivering packages? Next 10, 15 years, we're not gonna see that, right? We're gonna have self-driving cars and stuff
Right.
like that. So, you know, we really living in a world now where
Right.
I
They already got self-driving cars.
exactly, and so
They really do. They already got cars doing that shit.
So what's the point in not chasing something? What's the point in not figuring out what the play is and then do developing your conviction and going for it? And my question is why you think so many people don't do that? You know what I'm saying? Because like even this right here, I mean, this podcast shit is new to both of us.
Facts.
It's the play though, and we're currently exercising our conviction, right? Not even putting out as high quality content as we could. If I'm being completely honest, bro, this upload is it's literally titled episode 0, right? Because episode 1 is hopefully gonna be better than this once more equipment comes in. But we said fuck it, right? And we're going in at it
Nah, fuck
regardless.
it. I'm finna. Nah, we finna have a whole little blog and shit. You know, it's gonna be all kind of shit. Not saying that you know we gotta be the best. You know, like it don't have to
Dude,
be the best.
yeah, it has to be the
I
best of me.
mean,
It has to be my best. That's all I care about.
yeah, it don't have to be the best in nobody eyes but ours. You know, if we
Exactly.
love it, then you know whoever else love it, then that's who it's for.
Right.
Whoever
And that's the
whoever
conviction that
you know,
niggas need to have, bro. I don't give a fuck
yeah,
about what anyone else thinks. But if I'm proud of it, as long as and that's actually one of the topics, right? Creating something that you can stand on. You know what I'm saying? And going out and doing something that you could be proud of. I can't even tell
right,
you how many times I feel like, you know, even like talking to a shorty and you're like, yo, what do you do for a living? She's like, oh, I'm a nurse. Well, I mean, usually, you know, when I think of nurse, I think about you know a young boy or girl in the class being asked by the teacher what you want to do when you grow up and they answer that ecstatically, enthusiastically, I want to be a nurse. But then when you see these people in the real world, that bro, that passion is gone. So what happened? Did your passion for being a nurse leave, or was that just like you spewing out something that you saw in the world and you just hadn't experienced yet, and now you're just doing something just to do it, and your real play is something else? You really want to do hair, and or you really want to open up a rim shop,
right,
but you just refuse to take that risk on it, you know? Or like, you know, you had the idea and then you wake up one day and you're like, bro, I'm gonna do it for real, I'm gonna do it for real, and then you open up the fucking, you know, whatever your local website is to register a business, and then you like, damn, I gotta fill out all this, and you close the laptop. Like, wow to me. And I've done that before, you know. I mean, I did that when starting my own business, my first business. It's like open up the laptop, god
you know.
damn.
It's crazy if you see him talking about open up a ram shop or open up a hair salon and shit like that because I've always loved music and speakers and shit like that. I always work on people I know shit. People who ask me, oh your shit sound good. Let me see. And most recently, actually, this one dude asked me to help him with his shit. This is a side note. He asked me to help him with his shit, and when he came up there to show me what he had, his fucking speakers was sparking up. This shit was on fire when he tried to show me. Swear to God, this shit was smoking out his trunk.
Yo,
Swear to God, I I ain't even help him. I was like, bro, you gotta do that shit on your own.
Yeah, nah, I ain't taking that risk, my
I can't
boy.
do nothing with that, bro.
Right.
Like, but like what I was saying, like I just got my first, like, besides somebody that I don't know, first customer that asked me to do they figures today, literally. We was talking earlier, like it was probably like an hour. It probably was like 45 minutes after we got off the phone. I'm still, cause I don't work on my speakers at the crib, cause like I don't like having all my shit blasting and shit in front of the crib. Well, I'm down the street in this little parking garage, and dude walked up to me and asked, this white dude too, old white dude, asked me if I do that shit for real, asked me for my business card. And I was like, nah, I just work on people I know shit, you know. And he was
Yeah,
like, well, let me get your number and shit. And he stood there with, we talked for about 5 minutes. I was like, yeah, this is what I be doing and shit. He was like, oh, it look good and shit, cause I, when I first started doing it, I just was like wiring it up just so I could hear it. But now I'm to the point where I'm not just trying to make it sound good. I'm trying to make it look good. I want my lights and shit to be blinking and all kind of shit. He was like, oh yeah, I want you to hook my shit up too. I was
yeah,
like, all right. So I don't even know if he gonna call me, but shit, that shit made me feel good because I love to
bro,
do somebody who I don't know.
bro. You have no clue how good that type of shit makes people feel, or me
Real
feel as
shit.
well, bro. I be the same way. Like, bro, I be building like Excel reports and shit. And like a nigga hit me up and be like, bro, I got something going on in my business. I need to, you know, keep track of X, Y, Z. I know you know this shit real well. Or like if a nigga asks me
Right.
like, hey, what you investing in? And I tell him what I'm investing in. And he like, bro, I did what you said do. I made a little bit of money. I'm like, bro, hey, I'm not a financial advisor, but damn, it made me happy. I could get you some bread, black man. Like, bro, I love stuff like that. And like,
Hey,
especially for you, cause you love music, dude. That
right.
right there, that's a sign, bro. Right? Like,
That shit crazy, bro.
it's a
That
that's
shit
a
is literally
sign.
crazy.
Yeah, bro. You meant to do shit like that though, right? Like you gotta,
I really feel like I am.
yeah, bro. And what's crazy is would never thought about that or thought that of you, in high school or when you even left for school. When you initially left for college, would have never even thought that that was gonna be where you was going. I mean, you had some shit back then too, but would have never thought that would be the direction you would go. But that's the thing. Like passions aren't something that you discover. Passions are something that you work towards. You pick
Right.
something and you do it, and then it becomes a passion. Not, oh, I just stumbled
Right.
upon this and it just happened to be the thing I was destined to do. There's no one thing you're destined to do. You just try a whole bunch of shit. You octopus out, and then whatever you bring back, that's the one you stick with if you're the one that caused you the most. It's hard to do that though, and like, you know, again, stick with the topic. It's
Niggas
hard to
don't
have
have
conviction
time.
in that. No, bro, and that's another thing is that having time, bro, and that brings me to that topic of not falling for the hustle culture. Like there's a such thing as having to grind. You gotta grind, but like what you grinding towards really matters. And I think a lot of people just, it's gonna sound ridiculous, grind blindly. A lot of people just, bro, go to work, bro, put in their little 50 hours at wherever they working, or put in their 40, 45 wherever they working, no matter if it's an office job or you delivering mail, bro, you grind at that, and then you might have like a little side hustle that you do, but you never really put your time towards something constructive that's going to lift you out of that situation. And that's the thing about this
Right.
hustle culture that's toxic, bro. We quick to praise somebody for getting another job. We might insult somebody for saying they quit their job and bet on themselves, and we'll praise somebody for being successful at something they doing, but usually that praise comes after they had already seen some success. It's not like, you know, somebody say, hey, I quit my job to pursue something. I quit my job to pursue YouTube. I quit my job to pursue streaming. I quit my job to pursue installing speakers. I quit my job to
And
pursue whatever.
that criticism not not 100% unwarranted though, because if you haven't even started your shit, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
if you
facts.
you
I
gotta
hear that.
you gotta make you gotta you know what I'm saying, you gotta get your foot in the water a little bit. You gotta have
Yeah,
an
you got
actual
to dip the toe.
plan.
Yeah,
You know, you know what I'm saying? I can't even remember what that nigga Tyler said, but that nigga had me tripping. He talking about I put my toe in. I can't remember what he said though. You know
right.
what I'm talking about?
I don't, but I know for a fact you gotta dip that motherfucking toe for sure before you
Right,
leave. You can't just, you just can't jump blindly. You gotta know where you're gonna land. You gotta have some type of general direction. But you sometimes you still gotta just, bro, have
right,
faith, leap into the clouds and just say, yo, it is what it is. And I feel like a lot of times people have shit set up. They have a plan. They might not have their feet completely wet, but they have a plan. And that's the thing, bro. We don't have the opportunity to even have those safety nets where it's okay for you to just, I mean, and it's not just a black community thing. This is just people who don't come from families with a lot of money. It's hard to just take that leap of faith and say,
Yeah,
all right,
it's
bro, I'm gonna
life.
try it. Yeah, facts. But at the same time, it's necessary. It's necessary to do that at least once or twice in your life and just see where it goes, because you never know, it might change you. You know what I'm saying? And it's worth the risk, to be honest, and especially when you're young. But and by young I mean under the age of like 60. Do it. Like if you say if
Right.
do it, but do it for real. You can't just and that's part of the conviction. You can't just quit your job and then half-ass it and then sit on the couch, eat Doritos, and watch movies all day. You got to really be out
Right.
here. You got to be going and handling business. You got to get your LLC registered. You got to be looking at buildings to fill up, or lease. You got to have
You
something
damn
going
near
on.
gotta work harder than you was before you quit.
Oh,
You gotta put in them
110%.
hours.
110%. 110%. Oh, your 40-hour work week is easily turned into a 60, 70 off of
Right.
you quitting. You working 14-hour days. For sure. For sure. But the
Right.
thing is, that's why you
That's
need to
all
love
you
it.
doing, cause you, if you exactly, it gotta be something you really passionate about, cause that's all you doing
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah. All
Real,
day.
from the moment you get up, real shit. From the moment you get up
Till you go
to
to sleep,
going
bro.
back to sleep, bro. That's what you working towards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Being in that better place in your life. You
Right.
can't just jump at some shit and then you know work them 8 hours like, oh yeah, that's what I've been doing, so that's
Yeah,
good enough.
yeah, yeah.
Nah,
That 8 hour shit is really meant to be, the cop out, right? That's like part of the
mm,
that's part of the dream. That's part of the sell. Is that, hey, I only have to do this for 8 hours and then I'm free for the rest of the day, and then when you get off, you do whatever the fuck you want. Or you one of those
right.
other people
Mm-mm.
who are super into the hustle culture, and you get off of one job and you go to the next job, and then you put in the same 14-hour day, but you really on the treadmill instead of moving forward. And we had talked about that
Right.
earlier. That fail forward thing, to give credit to TBH, or the Black Hokage. I'm not gonna take some shit that I heard from him and not give him credit. That failing forward thing is really real, bro. And a lot of people end up being on the sideline, bro. They're not really going nowhere. They just watching the race. And I'm just trying to get a message out to people that, bro, participate, find out the play, have conviction, and do that shit, and understand that you're gonna fail. I mean, to be completely candid, I can't tell you how many times I failed at this real estate shit. It's very fucking hard, bro. It's easy, but it's hard at the same time. It's easy to understand conceptually, but it's hard to make that shit work that way once it's actually being done in real life, bro. I failed multiple times. I've had multiple setbacks, bro. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, wasted money. It is what it is, though. I'm not embarrassed about that failure. That's why I wanted to develop this platform, is to just tell people, bro, I'm out here doing the same shit. This is not me. And same for you. This is not us coming from a place where, we already got the shit figured out. These niggas are just backseat to us trying to figure shit out, and I'm just trying to display this shit to people like, hey, my life
Yeah.
removed. Please really watch these mistakes, because I'm finna tell you what to do and what not to do. I'm not gonna hold the sauce. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in our community do that too. They get up there, and they either get too good to talk to people below them, or they start holding the secrets. Can't stand it. Or the secrets are locked behind the course. Buy this course, and we'll tell you, right?
Right.
I don't know when that became a thing, bro. But you get on Instagram, any nigga with like 10,000 followers got a course on something. What the hell is this?
Dead ass.
Why is that?
Dead ass.
Right? Like, we
That's what
locking
they
the
trying to
secrets up.
turn OnlyFans into.
Yeah, yeah, this course. It's from only for my family, which, hey, makes sense, but that's what Patreon already is, right? Which, hey,
Right.
if y'all don't know, if y'all don't know, please, we making the Patreon. I'm just fucking around. I can't do that. I can't do that. That's
You
some
can't make no
hypocritical shit.
Patreon, bro.
On some hypocritical shit. Hey, I ain't gonna cap. I probably could. I probably could. If people was like, hey, bro, if YouTube was probably tripping on some shit, I'd make a Patreon. No cap. No cap. No cap. No cap. But I
Nah,
wouldn't. I wouldn't
YouTube
hold no
definitely be
secrets.
tripping though.
Oh
They
yeah.
just took they've been taking videos down for people talking about vaccines and shit. So they
Hey,
really
don't talk
don't
about it.
know, you know what I'm saying?
Don't talk about it. This video is going to
Nah,
YouTube.
look.
Shut your mouth. You missed sugar
Nah,
water.
I ain't saying that. But they be, you know,
Yeah.
they really don't want, like, YouTube is a corporation, you know, it's media just like, every other social media website.
Yeah,
So
it's decentralized, but it has a centralization aspect to it as well.
the
Anybody can make a
algorithm
YouTube
is
video.
in depth.
Bro, the
It's in
algorithm
depth
is
algorithm.
becoming God. A lot of people don't realize that,
Facts.
bro. But that your like it's wild to me that the algorithm really dictates what you and I see, and what when you Google something and I Google something, we'll get different results. That's crazy to me. It's like being tailored to
And
you.
what's even crazier, you can subscribe to the niggas. They could like unless you got the bell on and some shit like that, you can subscribe it. But if you haven't watched that video in maybe 2 weeks, none of that shit finna pop up on your feed.
Yeah, they're trying to get you some
Dead
new
ass.
stuff. They're trying to get you hooked on new things. They're trying to get you hooked on new
Right.
things. Which, hey, I am gonna say, if you are watching this and you're enjoying the content, please like the video and you can subscribe if you want to. I understand. You know, you probably want
Yeah,
to
that
see a
shit
little
was
bit
on. I
more of
already
this.
seen you say
Yeah,
what they be saying.
yeah.
They be saying
Smash that like
subscribe,
button.
subscribe.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, this is not that type of channel, but you can sub if you want to see more content. It will be coming every Friday for sure. And obviously, as we continue going on, you'll see some improvement in quality, etc., etc. But back to this, yeah, um, it's really wild how even that. I mean, that algorithm, bro, is meant to throw you off your game, bro. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't really understand, bro. This content you consuming, you really need to monitor this because it's influencing your psyche in a subconscious way, a way that you're not really realizing. These videos that you watching, for example, bro. I hate to comment on these niggas because of what they got going on, but that fresh and fit shit, and um, that
Facts.
that 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 red pill shit, that what is they called, manosphere movement. Some of that shit and some of the points they make are valid about men getting their life together, et cetera, et cetera. I'm all for men building themselves up because I think the status of men, especially black men in this country, has been dampened for years, bro. For years. There's a book called To Joy My Freedom, and I'm blanking on the author's name right now, but even reading the first 4 chapters of that book will open up anyone's eyes as to like what's going on with the black family and why it has happened, because this is designed, right? And
Facts.
I agree with that stuff. Men need to get their lives together. Okay, yeah, for sure. But then some of them aspects, bro, it's toxic, bro. And I've seen that toxicity manifest itself in my thoughts and ideas when conversing with women, right? And like,
Dead ass.
bro,
Dead ass. You gotta control. Going back, not even I'm not even gonna touch on the women, man. You gotta control your attention. You
yes,
know what I'm saying?
yes,
Cause like you said something. You said something one time. You was like, if you don't control your thoughts, somebody else control it for you. Something you said you
yeah,
read that somewhere.
yeah,
I seen 50 Cent said something that was like, when you learn to control your attention, you'll that's when you'll be successful. And not control your attention, but control what you what you giving attention to. Whether it's video games, social media, women, whatever you're doing, whatever you're literally thinking about when you get up in the morning. That's what your attention goes to. So if you could put that towards something that you want to work towards, if you could put that towards something that you want to be later, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but something valuable, then you'll see that result. Because if you waking up thinking about how to get some pussy, then that's all you finna do. You finna go to work, try to get some money, and then go buy you some clothes and put some, with some rims in your car so you can ride around and try to get some pussy. Like
it's
that's
a cycle,
that's the
bro, and
goal
it's
for a lot of
so
people.
it's so vicious, bro. And then social media is telling you, bro, that's what you need to do, right? Like a lot of people clout
Right.
chase on social media and then really not even trying to use the clout for anything positive, bro. There's a lot of people out there who got a significant amount of followers. I'm not talking about like girls that's basically OnlyFans, Instagram models, but I'm talking about people out there with real followings, bro, who have messages, but they don't really flex them the way they should, or they have a following, but they don't really speak the things they shouldn't, bro. I told you, I'm already the type of nigga to get some shit off on Twitter that makes no sense at all, bro. I'm rowdy with it, but that's my personality. That don't necessarily mean that I'm out here promoting ignorant shit, right? And a lot of people get
Right.
out here and it's like the first thing that they think of, when you think of like a rapper or something like that, or any public figure is something negative, bro. You know what I'm saying? And a great
Facts.
example would be like, bro, me in high school and college, bro, sipping lean, bro, because I just thought that shit was cool, bro. Like, just that was the shit that niggas was talking about, bro. So I had baby bottles under the bed, sipping acting shit. For what though? You know what I'm saying? That shit was
Fuck
ignorant.
no. I ain't know you was drinking that shit, bro.
Hell yeah. Hell
I
yeah.
think I did know. I think
You
I think I
definitely, you
did know.
definitely know. You definitely seen me with a Sprite at least once, bro. You definitely seen me with a Sprite
I
at
think
least
I did.
once.
I might have.
at
Yeah,
least
bro,
once.
that
But
shit
I
is
wasn't proud of that shit though, to be honest with you, because I just never felt like that shit was me. You know what I'm saying? But then you start doing that shit, and, bro, whole nother story. But you know that's a perfect example, bro. Even smoking marijuana, bro. Like I'm gonna keep it above with you. I don't really think I would have smoked weed the way I smoke weed if it weren't for me listening to Khalifa. And I don't even think weed is just that terrible. I would advise niggas that's younger than 25 not to do that shit yet. Wait until you hit 25 before you start
bro.
smoking that
It's
gas.
it's some music I couldn't even listen to without being high. Like dead ass. That's
Nigga,
why I
some
say
Wiz
currency is
Khalifa.
ass, bro.
I ain't gonna count to you.
Like,
I ain't gonna cushion
I
orange
was,
juice.
bro. I was telling everybody currency was trash until I started smoking, bro. When I
Yeah.
started smoking, I was like, damn, he's not
Uh,
trash, bro.
uh,
And I couldn't get
yeah,
away
yeah,
from
yeah.
it,
That nigga ad libs be crazy. Yeah, that nigga. His voice is fucking iconic, bro. Hey, Currency got some bump, bro. Fuck that. Fuck that. You
bro.
was tripping.
Oh, facts. I just couldn't. You know, I was tripping on facts.
Yeah.
Brothers a go in his own right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's untouchable type shit. But
Yes.
you know,
Nigga comes out with 13 albums
honestly,
a year. It's fucking stupid.
honestly though, I feel bad, you know, cause he don't even get the love from this younger generation. Like it's only like my generation, we graduated probably the one of the last generations to even fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause he don't. It's not like these younger kids are not bumping no currency these days. Not
Yeah.
saying that they
Yeah.
not. You know what I'm saying? Like I
And
feel bad because he still put shit out. You know what I'm saying?
and the shit he rap about, I appreciate because it's he not one of them niggas that's rapping about no super like fabricated. Not I'm not
Yeah, he
saying
a
anything
real
wrong with it.
lifestyle rapper.
He's definitely a lifestyle rapper. I mean, I would prefer Rick Ross the same way. I prefer you rap about all the luxurious shit you have because you're not in the streets no more, rather than being a nigga out here. You know what I'm saying? Really talking about you gonna
Nah,
stomp a nigga out, bro, but you got like a $500,000 crib or something like nigga. I guess that ain't
man,
even that much, but
that nigga Ross is known for fabricating.
facts,
That
but
nigga,
he said he rap about more luxurious shit now than he did when he came
yeah,
out. You know what I'm saying? Now he's more of a lifestyle rapper himself. I would say like too many niggas rapping about just again that negative shit that's impacting people and causing them to make decisions, bro, that they really don't want to make. And a lot of people out here trying to live like that, like that is their role model. You know what I'm saying? Or like a
facts.
Hooper or something like that. Instead of just realizing that your role model should be the person around you who's the most free. Like look at the people around you and determine which one of these motherfuckers is the most free, the most independent from a job or a title, and the most can do the fuck whatever they want. Who can do whatever the fuck they want the
Right,
most? And that needs to be your role
right.
model,
With
not
a
something.
smile on their face.
Yes, yes, with a smile on their face. Not no nigga who got the bottle in his hand. He just can't keep a job, but he doing whatever the fuck he want. I'm talking about a nigga who's, bro. My life is dictated by me, and like you said, bro. If you don't control your thoughts, you're not controlling your actions. Somebody else is programming all that shit for you, and it's meant for that shit to
it's
happen.
it's really hard because honestly, we was just talking about this shit. Kanye probably the most free nigga on the earth, but that nigga don't smile. You know what I'm saying? Because he looking at the rest of y'all. He looking at the rest of the world and like, bro, this shit is fucked up. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
facts,
Like I
facts.
couldn't smile in that situation either.
Nah, bro.
I'd be miserable.
Bro, especially if you care about your community and you looking at people and it's like, bro, y'all are literally trapped in the system and don't even realize it. And you're playing in the game willingly and eagerly rather than saying, bro, I'm gonna just bet on me. And that's the whole, like I said, I'm touching back on it just to remind people that's the whole point of this episode. Have conviction in the play. Have conviction in the play. What you're supposed to do is bet on yourself.
Yeah,
You
you
bet on
supposed to
yourself.
get a little bit closer, bro.
Have fucking conviction, bro, in
Yeah,
the play. You got to, for real. Just
right.
bet on yourself one time in your life. If you don't do it ever again, if you don't do it ever again, bet on yourself one time in your life. Everybody else around you is gonna think you're an idiot. They're gonna think what you're doing is ridiculous. They're gonna call you foolish. I guarantee you, that's what happens. Is part of the game. Have
Yeah,
conviction in the play. Stick to that bitch, and I guarantee you, you'll be happier in the long run. Even if you pour it in what you would have been pursuing some pseudo bullshit that would have left you in a monotonous job that you don't care about. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't even look at is that, hey, this job will make you a lot of money, bro. But are you gonna be happy? Will you be happy in that? I mean, I know
Right.
plenty of doctors who are miserable, bro. Dentists,
Miserable.
dentists, that profession is number one in self deletion. I can't say the word because YouTube will literally not recommend our video if we do. But number one in self deletion, right? People will go to that mug and voluntarily leave this earth, right?
Right.
But how much does a dentist make? Bukus, bro. Bukus. I know lawyers, miserable, bro. I know plenty of people who working in investment firms, miserable, bro. Miserable. And I was going on that track, bro. I work in agriculture, miserable, bro. Right? And I'm in my field. I'm going and I'm doing something that I went to school to do. I'm working in commodities. Hate it. Hate it. But had you told me in college, I was gonna be here, I probably would have been excited for it. No cap. No cap. Matter of fact, I walked into this mug eagerly. I volunteered myself to this position. I'm the one that filled out the application. They didn't come to me and say, "Hey, can you work for us?" I said, "Hey, will you please hire me?" You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And then didn't take the time to sit back while I was in college. And this is why I think a lot of people need to take like gap years, etc. Because you need to take some time to yourself and really understand what you want to do. When you're in high school and your parents pressuring you to get a job, no, bro. Tell them, yo, instead of making me get a job, how about you let me spread my wings and try different things? And then maybe I can discover my passion quicker so that when I go to college, I know what I want to go to school for. Because it took me forever to determine the major, bro. I'm not going to lie. I didn't just go to school and pick a major. I started off going to school for philosophy, which I enjoyed, but that wasn't going to make me no money, right? And then I switched to psychology. I enjoyed. That wasn't going to make me no money. Then I switched to marketing. Yeah, I was kind of whack. It was boring, too easy. And I landed on finance because I had made some money off of cryptocurrency and was like, well, I like that. And I was trading cryptocurrency like crazy. So I was like, let me see what I can make out of this, right? And it turned out well for me. I learned a lot of things that I think a lot of people don't know. I'll kind of divulge that information later on. But so make sure you tune in to other episodes. So, you know, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, you know, I don't know. I just never feel like I really took the time to discover what my passion was. And like I said earlier, your passion is not something that you discover, but work towards my passion. You got to pick something, work towards it, and you'll know if it's your passion or not. Because, like you say,
Facts.
you'll be able to put in them 70 hours and it won't feel like it. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, you working on your craft, but it won't matter. Some people out here really meant to be sculptors, bro. You really meant to have a block of marble in this bit like SpongeBob and that hoe. That's literally what you meant to do. If you feel like that's what you meant to do. The sad part is you should be able to monetize that. And living in 2021, you can monetize that. It just you might have to be craftier than the next person. But it's entirely possible to
Facts.
monetize it. Yours is a great example because it's speakers. Everybody
Right.
want a nice sound system, bro. So that's a
Right.
little bit easier to monetize. But hey, bro, some people out here really went to school for underwater basket weaving. Monetize it. Find a way. Find a way. If you went to school for art, commission
I'm
paintings.
I'm gonna say one last thing though. You said something about fuck. Oh, damn, I can't even remember. You said something about working. You said something about doing something you love. It just left my mind. I swear to God.
Yeah,
Cut this shit out.
yeah. This is why you don't need to do that shit until 25 and over. All right.
Oh, I know what I was gonna. I was gonna say you need to take, like you said, you need to find that passion and shit.
Yeah.
But it's too many distractions out here for people to have the time. Because by the time you get done scrolling through them shorts for an hour, you got something else to do now. So
Yeah.
what you need to do is when you have time, take that time away from your phone. Sit like if you ain't got shit to do, appreciate that time. Sit
Yes.
there away from your phone. Don't you know what I'm saying?
No
Don't think
books.
about Instagram and shit. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Don't think about you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever pops into your mind, that's you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if nothing is popping into your mind, you literally can't think of anything besides I wonder what's on my Instagram feed. You know what I'm saying? You need to go out there and live life a little bit more. You
Facts.
need to go out there and
Facts.
do some more shit.
Facts. Put 2K down, bro.
You know?
Put GTA down. Put all them distractions down. That's for when you got shit figured out. Or when you got something, you got a general direction. It don't have to be all the way figured out. You don't have to have from A to
Right.
Z figured out. You just need to know, okay, I'm at step B, right? Or I at least know how to get from A to E. You just need to know something and then take a step. It's okay to enjoy those things. They're there and they're useful. I get it, bro. Social media is useful. So is Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, but YouTube and all these other like
Honestly, that shit's
distractions.
not useful, bro. That shit is killing society. I'm not gonna speak on that. But if
Yeah.
you're not making no money on social media, bro, what are you? But you not even on you the wrong nigga on here. Cause if you're not making no money, they making money off of you. Period.
I mean,
Like
shit. That
your attention
that's fair.
is a valuable
That
commodity.
that's
Dead
fair.
ass.
That's definitely a different conversation because we'll be talking about that for a while. But I definitely understand what you're saying. At the same time, I don't know, bro. Facebook then got a lot of grannies in contact with their kids and they or they
Oh,
grandkids and they
true.
probably
Oh,
wouldn't
true.
have. You know what
Very
I'm
true.
saying? And so it's
Very
useful.
true.
It's useful in that sense. But then what you said is also true. It's like everything has a duality, right? Like I said earlier, every virtue has an opposite, right? So where there's courage, there's fear, and where there's I guess attention, there's distraction. So they both have to exist. But you
If
know,
you can't pick the phone up and call your grandma, bro, you got your grandma hitting you up on Facebook. You need to
yo,
know
you a
like
different type of
like
dirty. Yeah,
like
you
oh
you another nigga. One, why your granny on Facebook, but two,
right
why you in college?
right like
Yeah,
why are you in contact with your family on Facebook on
facts,
Instagram
facts,
anything? You need to be on their phone. That's
facts.
your family.
Facts. Hey, people don't live in the real world no more, though, bro. People don't live in the real world. But that point you made was very valid, bro. Like, you really do need to, and we'll end on this. I said that shit when I went on that fast. That 3 day fast away from like no food, water, no, well, no, just water. I ain't nigga. I drank no food, just water, no social media, nigga. Just one book, and I shouldn't even had the book. Really, in reality, I shouldn't have been reading the book. But like this shit crazy, bro. I it was easier for me to not eat than it was for me to avoid social media. And so like I'm touching on your point where you're like, yo, that attention shit is a valuable commodity. It was easier for me to fucking turn down food than it was for me to turn down YouTube or turn down Instagram. And bro, that shit is poisonous, but it's also useful in the same case. Because like you said, some people get paid off of it. If I'm being completely honest, bro, my goal is to make that a passive stream of income. So I'm not even finna sit here and cap to y'all like I don't plan on using it. But at the same time, you gotta understand, or you gotta get to a point in your life where you can push that shit aside, bro, and control quote 50 where your attention goes.
Right.
But to sum this thing
That's
up,
it.
because everything, I'm sorry, what were you gonna say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was gonna ask is that. So that's the end of it. How much time we got?
Actually, I honest to God don't know how much time we have. It doesn't show necessarily,
Okay.
but I'm assuming we got on here about four. I don't know, maybe about 6 o'clock, six something. So yeah, it's about that time. I know we limited right now since we don't have Zoom Pro, so it is what it is. They didn't, maybe maybe
All right, bro.
maybe they'll fuck with us one day and be like, yo, y'all can have that for free since y'all do
Let
y'all
me
shit
know
in
what
Zoom.
the let me know what the end product looking like. I want to see it, bro.
Oh, this is not getting edited, my brother. This is going straight up raw. Raw
Oh
dog on the
damn.
internet, nigga. We
Oh
raw
damn.
dog on the internet. All that shit at the beginning, all that shit at the beginning, all that shit at the beginning when we was just ass, nigga, that shit is going all up, nigga. I'm showing them all, bro. I can't get the editing software to run on my laptop, bro. I literally can't.
Damn.
Damn. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Nigga. Yo, how you think I feel, bro? How you think I feel? Yeah, bro. My laptop's shitty. My
Let
laptop
that shit
shitty.
go, man.
Oh, it is what it is,
Hey,
bro. Hey, they gonna love it, bro. They gonna love it. That's the
uh,
faith I have. But hey, all I can say is, so we can wrap this thing up, bring this one to a close. Thank you guys for joining again. The name of the pod is Debauchery. Debauchery the pod.
hey,
We'll be covering a host of topics. My name is Cameron Tuggle, and that man is Cos Mosley. Y'all can expect a
hey,
lot more from us every week at least. We hope to up the cadence if we see any uptick or people start liking it. Please like and comment below. Let us know how we can improve everything. Of course, like I said, we'll improve setups as we go. But yeah, again, please like, comment, subscribe if you're interested. I know it's episode 0, but you'll definitely see 1 through 100 coming soon. And thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate anybody who took the time to check us out. And if you left a comment or left a like on the thing, my God, I don't even know. You are a different type of human being, and I greatly appreciate you. And so does Kai. I'm positive. So You know, we're wrapping this thing up with one final phrase, bro. Believe in yourself. Have conviction in the play. If you gotta pump your brakes and drop things, so be it. Follow your heart and use your brain. Everything will work itself out, and you'll be okay. That was positive, right? Yeah, that
All
shit was
right, bro.
nice. That
Yeah,
shit
that
was
was
nice.
that was
Yeah,
good.
yeah, 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 yeah. You like that, nigga? Ah! All right, bro. I'm gonna let you go. Thank you,
All right,
guys.
I'm gonna fuck with you, bro.
All right, brother.
All right, love.
Love.